Hi guys, I'm a mess today, so I'm not going to be on camera. But what we're going to do today is some dyeing. Now, I wanted to do some experiments. So what we've got here is we have some natural humbug top, is merino and nylon. And then, for fun, I have some dyed gray merino top. So this has been dyed. I'm going to over dye it with other colors and we're going to see what happens. So, first of all, we'll just get some roving in here. And we'll grab some of this. So this is the merino and nylon. Oh, I just got some citric acid in my hand wound. Ow! Oh boy. Okay, there we go. We'll tie that back off again. We'll plop some of that in here. All right, so that one's pretty full. I'll grab the next tray and we will get some of this humbug merino. Yes, this is 100% merino. Just trying to untangle the braid here. These have been kicking around in my bin for a while. It's like, well, this is not quite a finish it Friday, but we're going to do some of this and experiment with it. Get some use out of it instead of just letting it sit around. It's the problem when you get too much, you're never sure what to work with. Okay, that's the oven's heated up because we're going to cook this stuff in the oven. I'm just trying to break off the roving here. There we go. All right. Oh, it was doubled up. Ha 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 ha. Oh well, now we got 2 clumps of it. And then we will need some more to fill it up. So this is Icelandic. So it's Icelandic roving in gray. I'm going to break off some of this and we'll throw that in the pan too. I mean, why not? I just love over dyeing natural colored fleeces because you get so many different variations. Now, because this is roving, it's going to have both the thel and tog. Is that how it's said? I'm so bad with Icelandic. I really should do some more research into that. And just to top it off, what do we got here? This is Manx Lockton, and it's brown naturally, so we'll throw in a little bit of that just to fill up the pan. All right, and a little bit of Manx Lockton. Now, I just put these all away. I'm probably going to, might not need any more water. Okay, I'm going to sit this one on top of here just to kind of push that wool into it. And I got some new spoons. I just went to like the dollar store, so this one's super cheap. This one I paid a little more for it. It's pretty solid. So, and with it being silver, I'll be able to see how the dye bath is absorbing. Now, I think, because I really don't care what the colors are, we're just experimenting with how it over dyes, we're going to yeet for dyes. So let me get my dice and I'll be right back. All right, I got my dice. We have 20 colors and we're going to pick up to 8. Do we want to go that high? No. We get 20 colors, so we're going to use the D6. And we're going to pick 4 colors. All right, where's my D20? Is this one, I believe? Yes. Okay. We have 20 dies. So we need die number 14. Okay. Amazon green. That's 1. 17. Midnight black. 16. Holy, we're staying up in the teens. 16 is Jacquard sky blue. 1 more. 3. Well, that was a change. 1, 2, 3. Ripe tomato in the country classics. So these are our colors we're going to be dealing with. And I think we're going to put some in each pan. We use the same color combos in both. Okay, let's see how this is doing. I did put the citric acid in with the wool. And I'm going to grab measuring cups. All right, let's start with Amazon green. And we will use, let's use half a teaspoon in 4 cups. Because we do have the 2 pans, so that might be a lot. Let's go 1/4 teaspoon in 1 cup. I'll go get that some water for that. Okay, so that's a 1/4 teaspoon in a cup of water. Get our 2 pans laid out here. I'm just going to move these over here. And I'm going to do them in the order that we rolled them. Because, like I said, I really don't care what the colors are. I just want to see how they overdye. And we might end up with a really interesting blend. All right. Put some there. Put some there. Okay, so our next one is going to be Midnight Black. I'm just going to push this down. I have gotten way more dye on that one than I got in this one. Oh, I so did. Okay. Just going to take a bit of dye out of there, plop it over here. Okay. And we want Midnight Black. Oh, 1/4 teaspoon. And I think a cup of water is probably too much, so I'm going to go 1/2 cup. Now I know this Midnight Black will break out into purples. So we'll see what happens. All right, there's that. Just push that down. This could end up being a complete disaster. All right, next we have Jacquard Sky Blue. And I think I'm going to take that down to... No, we're going to keep it going. Now, I thought about reducing the amount of dye, but no, I'm not going to. We're going to keep going. And it is what it is in the end. Whoops, I didn't leave much for this pan. May have to mix up some more. Okay. We're going to do a second round. Let me just dry this off first. It is coming in very, very light. I'm quite surprised. Okay, press that down. All right, and last one is going to be ripe tomato. All right, so I did double batch of this one, because I find the Country Classics aren't as saturated as other dyes. They're still lovely. They're just not as saturated usually. Could be wrong on this one too, but we'll find out. Okay. Now we're just going to add some more water. I should have pre-soaked these. I didn't think they would resist water this intensely. Because this gray is just floating on the top. It's not absorbing at all. So we're going to... First lesson of the day. Pre-soak your fiber if it's previously dyed. Otherwise it'll float. All right, I'm going to get my tin foil, cover these up, and I'm going to pop them in the oven. And we'll see what kind of disaster we get. And while these are in the oven, I'm going to pull off some other samples and I'm going to put them to pre-soak so we can see the difference between pre-soaking your roving, and not pre-soaking your roving, because that could be interesting too. So I'll get these in the oven and get some roving on to soak. All right, I got the first rovings chilling in the sink, literally. I'm just mixing up some citric acid and water. And I'll dump that in the pan. All right, so we will grab our pre-soaked fibers here. This time I'm going to go vertically. So we have our Manx locked in. And I'm going to use the dyed gray merino. Spread out a little bit. There. Okay, that's our first pan. And we'll put our other ones in this pan. So this is some humbug merino. And some merino and nylon. And then in the middle, we'll put in our Icelandic. There. All right. Now we need to mix some dyes and get those in. Get my second pan over here. And we'll start with our Amazon green. And I'm going to take it down to 1/8 of a tablespoon because it did take a long time. Sorry, 1/8 of a teaspoon. It did take a long time to get that dye bath to exhaust. So I'm going to use a little less this time. And we're just going to go across and across and back across again. And next up is Midnight Black. Oh, I forgot the blue. Oh well. We're going in with the ripe tomato. And then we'll add some blue. All right, there's all our dyes. Just gonna gently push down a couple of spots. Now I have my oven at 425 Fahrenheit. And I'm going to give this 20 minutes. I'm going to cover it and give it 20 minutes and I will check it and see how it's doing. Back in a bit. All right, here's the first batch washed up. Colors are going to change as it dries, but we have some interesting patterning going on. And the blocks of color actually took better than I thought they would. I thought they would just all blend. So this is the gray, I believe, that was over dyed. And it's just given it this nice deep tone. Yeah, that's definitely the gray. Curious to see how it'll turn out when it's dry. So this one, I believe, is one of the humbugs. or the merino and nylon. This is the Manx. It's very, very pretty. It's got some deepy tones in it. This thing is going to dye up like amazing, or spin up like amazing. This would be some more of the merino, I think. I think it should go right there. I love how the colors turned out on this one. And this is the Icelandic. So it's got some deep jewel tones in there too. These are going to be fun to spin. We'll have to do all of them just for fun. This is our content for the next couple of weeks. I like how that turned out. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to get that outside to dry. This one I'm just loving. Look at this blend in here. And then into the blue, which is like a golden hue, which turns to purple, to red. Like, this one is my favorite. It's absolutely stunning. I'm going to guess this is the merino nylon, just because of the shine on it. I'm going to guess that comes from the nylon. This one, I'm going to say is Humbug merino, maybe. Just looks like it's got that tonal quality. But even this dark moody bit here has tones through it. It's got blacks and greens and blues. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to get that stuff outside to dry while this second batch finishes cooking. And I'll be back to show you the second batch when it's washed up. And here's the second batch washed up and ready to go outside to dry. Because I used a lot less dye, I didn't get the same penetration, but with the Manx, I love it. I love how it's got these little pops of color mixed in around that golden brown, and how it's taken on a little bit of the pink. I think it's really pretty. This is the overdyed gray merino. Again, I really like how it looks. It's got the deep tone that comes from overdying. So I think it's going to be really fun to spin up. This is the Humbug merino. Really should have used more dye, but I'm fine with this because we're just mucking about, experimenting. So if we look here, where we have the deep dye, you can kind of see the different tones from the Humbug. This is the Icelandic. It's got almost a metallic shade to it right now. Curious to see how that'll come out when it's dry. That's some more Icelandic. And this is the merino nylon blend. You can tell because it all came apart. So this is probably superwash merino, I'm guessing, from the way it's behaving. So it took the colors really nice and bright. We got some blacks, some greens. These are going to be fun to spin. I'm going to get these on the line to dry, and that's going to be our projects for the next little bit, is working with this stuff. We can make some loopy yarn, we can do some experiments with it and stuff. We'll have some fun. But that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of chaos. Thanks for joining me, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye!